The inspiration for this episode came from Miss Tia. Tia is starting work at her first strip club this week. Congratulations, Tia. I'm very excited for you. This literally is a life-changing job. The money that you can make in this industry is beyond anything else that's legal for somebody that's young, that has no education or experience in anything. I don't know your education or your experience in anything. I'm just saying for anyone in general that's been thinking about dancing, that's considering dancing, this job can fundamentally change your life, and it's the easiest way to do it if you don't have any experience, if you don't have any education, if you are lost, if you need to help your family or your friends or yourself or your babies or whatever. So anyway, this episode is about what you should take with you on your first day. I will say, if I were you, I would go in with the intention of having your tryout day be your starting day. Doesn't really matter, I guess, but if I were you, I would go in with the expectation that you're going to work that day. Why not? Go in, try out, and just get started. So the obvious things that you need to bring with you are your ID. I would probably bring a social security card with you just in case. That's up to you though. I've started at plenty of clubs that have required social security cards, and I just told them I didn't have it with me, and they said that was fine, just bring it back the next time. And in a lot of cases, eventually they just forgot and never even asked for it. But if you really want to start that night, bring it just in case. Next is bring a lock. There are a lot of people that come and go from those dressing rooms. It's very nice to believe that no one would ever steal from you, but the reality is you just don't know that that's not going to happen. It definitely happens, and I would take a lock with you if I were you just in case, or just don't bring anything with you that you won't miss if it ends up missing. The odds of this happening, especially on your first night, are very, very, very slim, but in the long run, definitely you're going to want to get a lock. And I would probably put my stuff near the cameras, maybe, if you think about it, or if there's space over there. So the number one thing I would say that's the most important thing to bring with you is baby wipes. If you dance for a guy that has a lot of cologne on, you are not going to want to smell like him for the rest of the night. It's disgusting. And a lot of guys wear a lot of freaking cologne. And if you get up close and personal with them, which is what I would recommend because it's the easiest way to keep them intrigued and interested and have them giving you money, you're going to want to be really close with them. And if they smell like cologne, that's gonna rub off on you. So you're gonna want to take baby wipes for sure, because it's just gross to smell like it's gross to smell like one guy all night, but to smell like multiple guys all night, it's just not fun. So the next thing is, if you're gonna work all night, if you are planning on starting that night, and I would do this regardless, I would go get some stripper shoes. I would recommend Pleasers. It's a brand. Some of them are really expensive. You can get a decent pair of them for, okay, it's still pretty expensive if you're not used to buying stripper shoes, but you can get a pretty decent pair of them for about $50. You can order them online, which I wouldn't necessarily recommend because you can't try them on and walk around in them and see how they feel, but you can find a stripper store and go get one. Now, if you don't have the money for these shoes, that's okay. But I will tell you, they are so much more comfortable than regular high heels. The last strip club that I just went to work at, I couldn't find my stripper shoes. Like, I haven't used them in a really long time, and I have no idea where they are. So I wore regular heels. I wanted to stay all day. I wanted to do a double shift. And by the end of my first shift, I was done because my feet I was wearing regular heels and they just hurt. So another thing I would recommend is getting a heel that is not very pointy. Get a thick heel. That way you feel comfortable and stable. You don't have to worry about falling over. A lot of these clubs, for the stairs, they don't have rails. It's very clear that men design strip clubs when you go in them after you become a stripper. It's totally painfully obvious that it was a man that designed it. They don't have rails, so it's a little bit intimidating walking up and down stairs in these gigantic shoes if you don't have a rail. So you want to get a thick heel. Also, walking on stage, sometimes there are strobe lights. If they'll do 2-for-1 dances, there'll be a strobe light and fog on top of that. I worked at a club, they did fog and a strobe light walking around this like 3-set stage with a bunch of other girls, and you had to go up on the stage and down on the stage and up and down, and it was like, what the, like, it really, I mean, hard enough not to have a seizure in there, but it was intimidating. So getting a thick heel is very important. Another thing that's very important is think about being stable. Don't think about falling. Just imagine yourself as a graceful person that's always standing up straight and tall, and just think about that. But just in case, I would get a thick heel to start. You'll get used to walking in heels, and I wouldn't go over a 6-inch heel. 8 inches is crazy high. 4 inches is kind of like you have on regular high heels. 6 inches, like clearly, in my opinion, clearly a stripper shoe, but it's not crazy. You don't feel like a giant that's going to topple over at any second because you have these crazy shoes on. And then as time goes, you can either increase it or decrease it later. A lot of girls like to wear crazy tall shoes, but you want to get comfortable first. So next is you want to make sure that you have appropriate bottoms, and this is very important. You don't want to get there and not be able to work because you don't have the right panties. A lot of clubs have different legal rules for the size of their bottoms. It's ridiculous, yes, but everything the government does or has any say in is ridiculous. So in some clubs, legally, the back of your panties, like right that goes in your butt, that needs to be like an inch thick. Does anyone actually measure this? No, but if something happens, if the club gets raided, if somebody comes in, and all of those are very highly unlikely, but they do happen, you want to make sure that you're legal. You don't want to do anything that's not legal. So make sure you call the club and talk to someone that knows. If the door girl is new, ask to speak to a manager. You want to make sure you know what is legal and what's not. Trust me, I've showed up at too many places and not been able to work, or it's just been too much of a hassle. It's not worth it. Just call and make sure you talk to someone that knows what they're talking about and make sure you get the right thing. The next thing is, and I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here, you want to get organic breath mints or all natural gum. You do not want to get something with aspartame. Aspartame is one of the worst chemicals in the world for your brain and body. Why they allow it in diet soda and stuff like that is, I think, because the government wants us all to be sick and spend a bunch of money at the hospital and then take all of our money. And it's a long story, but it's true. I'm pretty friggin' positive. Aspartame will fog your brain. It can give you facial tics. It can give you seizures. It can make you go deaf. It has 92 different side effects, including death. So don't pick up anything with aspartame. I just feel like I have to say this because if I tell you to pick up breath mints or gum and you go do that and you get the kind with aspartame in it, I just don't feel good about not saying this. So get some natural gum or mints or whatever. Make sure there's not aspartame in it. And while you're at it, stop drinking diet soda because it'll actually make you more fat. And it has aspartame in it and it's totally disgusting for you. You might as well just drink regular soda. Really, you should just drink water. But anyway, so you want to have mints because you want to make sure that your breath stays fresh all night because it sucks when it doesn't. It's not having fresh breath will make you feel awkward. It'll make the customer feel awkward. It's just no good. Another thing that you want to take is a garter or a small purse, which you keep on you at all times. Don't put it down anywhere unless you're giving a dance. Even while you're sitting with customers, keep it on your shoulder. Make sure it's really tiny, almost not even noticeable. It can hang right under your arm and it's just really not that noticeable. Mine was medium size. It was pretty small. It did show under my arm, but I thought it was really cute and I liked it. So you definitely need to have a secure place to keep your money. I don't personally like garters because I feel like they look too stripperish. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I just feel like wearing it is kind of a reminder to the guy that you're making money. And that might not make him feel... It could just make him feel like you're just trying to make money off him, which is true, you are, but I also think a purse just looks classier and I just like it more. Either way, you want to make sure you have a place to protect your money. So that's really all you need to have for sure. And if I were you beforehand, if you want to go shopping for makeup, I would get stuff by Bare Minerals, or there's a company that's called Marilyn Monroe. They're only in select places though. You want to find stuff that doesn't have a bunch of nasty chemicals in it. That's what most makeup is disgusting, nasty bullshit chemicals. And if you're going to be doing this job for a while, you do not want that stuff on your face every night because it absorbs into your skin, it absorbs into your body, it absorbs into your blood. You don't want all that toxic shit in your body. And there's plenty of natural makeup out there and natural makeup that doesn't test on animals, which is also really important if you care about animals. Another thing to consider is natural deodorant. Now you have to find one that actually works for you. The one that I use is made of water and mineral salts. It's a spray. You can also find some that's a roll-on. The one that I'm thinking of in particular is in a little purple bottle, and I've seen it in most regular places. Like if you just shop at kind of like regular stores. I shop at a bunch of like natural places like that. So it's really easy to find in those kind of places. But I even saw it in CVS once. Can't think of the name of it right now. But you have to put it on as soon as you get out of the shower. So you soap under your arms and then put it on as soon as you get out of the shower. And it works really well to keep you smelling clean all night. The reason I recommend natural deodorant is because pretty much all regular deodorant has a heavy metal in it called aluminum. Yes, like aluminum foil. And aluminum is linked to brain diseases like Alzheimer's specifically. So when we shave, we're women, we shave like every day. When you shave and then you put this stuff under your arms and then you go do physical activity and your pores open up, this stuff is seeping into your body, which will get to your brain. So stay away from that stuff because it's poison. It's literally poison. If you want to bring a hair straightener or curler, you might want to go ahead and do that. If you want makeup remover, I always use coconut oil. I've used coconut oil for the last 10 years. I buy these little bottles and then I take coconut oil and put the coconut oil in the bottle and I use that to take off my eye makeup every night. If you look at the list of ingredients, it's on the back of your eye makeup remover bottle. It's unbelievable, especially if you look at it while you're stoned. You will look at that and be like, what is all this stuff? And I'm putting it on my eyes every night. It's just not logical. So if you get coconut oil, it has no chemicals in it. It's completely natural. And I've never had an eye makeup that it hasn't taken off. It's always used very well to take off all of my eye makeup. When it comes to perfume, I'm also a little bit of a weirdo again. I use essential oils. I like the smell of peppermint, wintergreen, spearmint, grapefruit, sometimes lemon, sometimes sweet orange. Pink grapefruit smells really good. Stuff like that. There's a ton of essential oils out there that you can find at places like Whole Foods and I'm sure a lot of other places as well, or order them online. Obviously, regular perfume is an option, but it is also completely just made of chemicals. And who wants to breathe that shit all night? There's a reason why the people in this country the United States are getting sick and dying. So there's a reason why there's an epidemic of cancer. We have way too many freaking toxins on this planet that we breathe in and take in and use all day, every day. And it's getting out of control. And it really makes sense to try to eliminate as much of that from your life as possible. So those are the list of things that I think are essential to go to work. And for anyone that's interested, eventually I am going to dive into all this health stuff behind beauty products and all this stuff because it's really important in this industry because they become such a big part of your life. And if you want to make really good money, being as healthy as you possibly can be will help keep you on top of your game. So that's it for right now, you guys. Good luck, Tia. Good luck anybody else that's trying out soon. You're about to fundamentally change your life. You can make this job really, really, really work well for you. And if you go to a club that you don't like, go try another club. Don't give up. Don't give up so easy because you can have it fundamentally change your life. I promise I'm one of those examples. So have an excellent tryout. Stay happy. Think about what you want to happen. Imagine your night before you go in. See yourself with people around you being happy and intrigued by you and happy that you're with them. Imagine the managers being really nice to you. Imagine just the night going super well and imagine walking out the door and having made so much money, you're just in shock. So good luck, you guys. Take care, stay positive, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.